Let's start then. So, Fabrice has a successful record in digital technology and transformations by building businesses and launching new softwares and IT solutions with high profitability levels. Let's welcome Fabrice on 10 minutes of hiring wisdom. Hi, Fabrice. How are you doing today?
Hi, Minal. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Of course. So, Fabrice, how has life been during the pandemic? Have you been working from home? Have you been going to the office? How have things been for you?
I think, like most people, we've worked remotely, and it's been interesting. We're a software company, so fortunately, the disruption has not been too hard because a lot of developers are used or enjoy to work remotely. But we miss it to each other. After a few months, we miss it to each other.
Do you think things are going to go back to normal where you guys will actually start going to office and everything? Or do you think remote is going to stay for your company specifically?
I think we're going to do a kind of an hybrid model. That's what shapes up. I think people miss some interaction, or for some important meetings where a whiteboard session is very easy to do and you get a lot accomplished having people in the same room. And then also having the luxury of having undivided, time where you can sit down at home and produce some work is very valuable versus spending 2 hours in the traffic. So I think it'll be a mix.
That's very true. And I think that's a good way to look at it because honestly, none of us really know when the pandemic will end. So I think just being prepared and making sure that you can make the best out of the situation is the best way to go. So Fabrice, can you tell us where you're currently working, what your role is with the company?
Okay, so I work for INT, which is a company specialized in software development. We build software for visualization of data in geoscience, in energy. So really cool stuff to see your data in 2D, 3D in the cloud. And what I do is I'm chief commercial officer for the company. So really taking this value proposition and seeing how we can help our customers solve their technology problems. And a lot of them are moving to the cloud. So it's very relevant right now.
That makes sense. And what got you into this? As in, did you always know that you wanted to go in somewhere with a company specifically that focuses on data visualizations? I know, as in, a lot of people are much more visually impressed when they see something like that. So a lot of data being compiled and then having diagrams in 2D, 3D, and it just makes you impressed. But what got you into this company specifically?
It's interesting because I know you work with job seeker and recruitment and hiring. I think in my case, it was a lot of curiosity and developing your network, which makes you stumble on maybe a domain or an opportunity to join a company. And that's what kind of happened also for INT. And I think it's just the passion of engaging, discussing, with customers and see how you can add value that open up sometimes some doors where somebody's going to tell you, hey, we're doing digital transformation and what you've done in this company is interesting. So can you come and do it here? So that's kind of how the connection happened in this case.
Wow. So things worked out for you. It was like a knock on the door where they were like, oh, you have the skill and everything. So can you work with us? So I'm glad it worked out for you and you're doing something that you're particularly interested about. So that's really nice. So Fabrice, I saw that your company is hiring. Can you tell us a little about the roles that are open? If people are interested, what kind of skills are you looking for specifically?
So we're looking at typically it's very technology centric company. So a lot of the people and the openings are usually around programming, engineering, especially around JavaScript technology. So all the technology to build application front end clients, especially with a focus into visualization. And also some backend engineers are going to work mainly on product. There's a lot of companies that build software, but also spend a lot of time engineering and implementation. Here, a lot of our team is doing some work, which is in the core product. So, which is interesting because you mixed into a team and have different responsibilities. And this is a collaborative work to bring this platform to the market. So, a lot of different facets.
I think people then tend to bring out the best of each other, especially when you're different, when you come from different backgrounds and everything. So I can definitely see that you guys might have a diverse team that works together to come up with great ideas, which is what your company is technically, like presenting ideas in such a beautiful way is definitely something that you can learn from. And you did mention as in like you have a very diverse team. So as in like, are you guys open to global hiring? Like, do you guys have like people in all over the world, or is it
So we
just
have
US right now?
offices in Novosibirsk, also so in Russia, and also we've got also an office in France, in Pau, and we've got our headquarters here in Houston. It's a very diverse team. I don't remember exactly the number of languages we've identified spoken in the company, but about I think it's 20 or 25 for a small company like us. So
Wow.
we've got different ethnicity. It's very rich, and that creates. I think that diverse culture creates a level of dialogue and respect and richness, which is very helpful. I think. Um,
That makes sense.
Pretty enjoy it.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. I think so, especially, I mean, you could learn so much from 20 to 25
Yeah.
languages. That's quite a lot, especially like being able to identify, like having people getting into a conversation and you're just like, what language is that? So it sounds amazing, like definitely very diverse. So, Fabrice, as in like, because you're such a diverse team and everything, do you face challenges when you're actually working with such a diverse team specifically because of different time zones and everything? How do you
No,
cater to
I
those
think
challenges?
well, it's not an easy setup, but like for any, I would say, small or large companies, so the time change can be difficult. There's a lot of usage of tools that we use that helps facilitate Slack. You learn to work, and how you divide or assign work or the mission also is very important. I think we've been very um, fortunate to have a team which is extremely they're dedicated. They love what they do. At the end of the day, you gotta love what you do. Of course, the pay needs to be good, but the mission needs to be interesting, and the recognition. I think that's the three pillars in which you succeed. And the team works really hard to actually divide the work and organize themselves and be able to collaborate remotely, do their task, and then bring it all together. So it's been working pretty well in terms of overcoming some of the challenges being remote and different time zone. So I think it's important.
Well, you sound like you have a wonderful team who is all over the world who are working hard towards a bigger mission, which is bigger than them because they know that they're part of something bigger. So, thank you so much for actually sharing about your company, the diversity, and just like wonderful individuals. If there's anything else that you'd like to add or let our guests know, we'd be more than happy to hear from you.
Yeah, I think maybe in the and for anybody searching an opportunity, I would say there's maybe two or three things that I would give as a piece of advice. Definitely listing your accomplishment and what you're good at and what you thrive. Like this, you have a clear idea. Going into that process is very important. I talked about, developing your network is, I think, very important. Because this is this two or three conversation that's going to open up maybe a door you didn't see outside of the traditional way of searching for a job, and also personalize your approach. A resume, I think it takes a recruiter 7 seconds to read a resume. So
Yeah.
you have to be very you have to do your homework, you have to be prepped, do your homework. Like this, your answer is very personalized, and people can quickly make a determination without missing your opportunity as a talent,
Yeah.
or missing your talent, just missing a big element that could help. So that would be maybe the one or two pieces of advice I could give.
That would definitely be really helpful, especially for people who would want to apply to your company. Well, Fabrice, thank you so much. It was a pleasure learning from you and just like hearing about your wonderful company and how diverse it is. Your company must be really lucky to have you because it seems like you're very open minded and
Well,
very
I'm very
forward
lucky
thinking. So
to
thank you so much for
work
being
for it,
coming.
and thank you so much for being part
Thank,
of this exercise, and thank you for participating to
of
that.
course. Well, thank you so much,
Thank
Fabrice.
you. Bye
Have a
bye.
good rest of your day.